in today's video we're going to take a look at the GoPro Hero 9 versus the DJI Osmo Action versus the GoPro Hero 8. And is the GoPro Hero 9 worth the upgrade over the GoPro Hero 8, or is the Hero 9 just, is it worth the hype? Now the first thing we're going to take a look at is the audio. Now none of these cameras has any media mods on it or any adapters, so the audio that you hear now is straight out of the camera. And here we have the audio from the GoPro Hero 9. How does it sound? Check 1 2 3, check 1 2 3. Here we have the audio from the Osmo Action. How does that sound? Check 1 2 3, check 1 2 3. And the final one is the GoPro Hero 8. Here is the audio from the GoPro Hero 8. Check 1 2 3, check 1 2 3. There is a slight breeze out here, so you might have some wind coming into the cameras. When it comes to the settings of all of the cameras here, we have the DJI Osmo Action. The wind reduction is off. On the GoPro Hero 8 and 9 we have the wind reduction set to auto. The reason why I like to have this on auto on the GoPros is simply because it does an amazing job. So I don't have to worry about any wind or changing the settings when it's windy and when it's not windy. I can simply put it on auto and I have basically the best quality which I can have without having a media mode all the time that I'm filming. So auto is basically the best settings which I can recommend. And I've also done a comparison between the GoPro Hero 8 and the Osmo Action previously, so I'll make sure to leave that video down in the description below so you can check out the raw comparison between these two devices if you want to do that as well. But for this comparison, we're going to go through some of the settings. We're going to do some stabilization testing. We're going to do some time-lapse testing and comparison. And we're also going to do some sharpness testing and film some of the leaves and trees and so on. As you can see around me here, we have a lot of different structures and so on, and this is basically the best way to see which one is the sharpest. Do you want the super sharp image from the GoPros, or do you want a little bit softer type of video or photos from the Osmo Action? It's all up to you, and we're going to dive into that in this comparison to find out which camera is the most suitable for you. Now the first test is going to be 4K 24 FPS, and that's what I've been filming with the entire time now, and this is also the footage which you are seeing right now. 4K 24 FPS on all of the cameras. Which one are you liking the best? Which one has the best color right out of the box? I'm filming with the normal color profile on the Osmo Action, and on both of the GoPros I have the GoPro Color. So let me know which one you think is best at 4K 24 FPS. So moving over to the next one, this is 4K 30 FPS. Did you spot any difference from 24 FPS up to 30 FPS? I know a lot of people like to film in 30 FPS over 24 because it's a little bit more realistic to life than the cinematic 24 frames per second is. So here we have the 4K 30 on all of the cameras. Which one do you think is the best? Let me know in the comment section below. And did you spot any difference between 24 and 30 FPS? So moving over to 4K 60 FPS, and you should see some differences here in the stabilization. For the brand new GoPro Hero 9, we are able to use Hypersmooth 3.0. For the Osmo Action, we are able to use a rock steady, as this is available up to 60 frames per second. Now let's take a look at the highest possible resolution which you can have on these cameras. With the brand new Hero 9, you are able to film in 5K up to 30 FPS. on the DJI Osmo Action you can film up to 4K 60 FPS, and the same goes with the GoPro Hero 8. So now we're actually shooting with 5K 30 FPS on the Hero 9 and 4K 30 on the other two devices, the Osmo and the GoPro Hero 8. Now, which one do you think looks the best? Is it the GoPro Hero 8 with 4K 30, or is it the Osmo Action with 4K 30, or is it the brand new high quality 5K 30 from the GoPro Hero 9? Let me know in the comment section below if you can spot any difference between the 5K and 4K, and which one do you like the best?
But don't wait for too long. Just hold me. We're right where we belong. Don't know what you need, but I got what you want, babe. We don't have to leave. The night is still young. Stay in the light. I want you to see it. Just for tonight, I want to believe. So keep on coming.
Now I still have the GoPro Hero 9 here on 5K 30, and the Osmo Action on 4K 30, and the GoPro Hero 8 on 4K 30. And I thought we should do a jogging test to see how the stabilization is when this is in 5K compared to those which are in 4K. So let's do a simple jog test here and see how this is behaving, how the 5K footage is behaving in high movement.
City lights are making me wanna be something else than I'm meant to. Spending time reminiscing of what it used to be, not letting go when I want to. Wishing I'd be all alone. I got these demons by my side, flying on the chemicals. Guess I'm not the lucky type. Trust me, you don't wanna know how it's night after night, night after night. Oh, searching after miracles. Oh yeah, night after night, night after night, night after night.
So we now change the resolution over to 4K 60. It's 4K 60 wide on the Hero 9, 4K 60 wide on the Hero 8, and 4K 60 wide or without the D-warp on the Osmo Action. For the Osmo Action we are still able to use Rocksteady, so let's do a jog test one more time to see how we can compare the Osmo Action with the Hero 9 and which one does actually have the best stabilization. Now keep in mind, after we do this we're gonna put on the boost on the Hero 9 as well to see if that helps any with the stabilization. So let's start jogging.
I got these demons by my side, flying on the chemicals. Guess I'm not the lucky type. Trust me, you don't wanna know how it's night after night, night after night. Oh, searching after miracles. Oh yeah, night after night, night after night, night after night.
Let's do that one more time, but this one we have the boost applied on the GoPro Hero 9, still have the Rocksteady on the Osmo Action, so let's...
Spending time reminiscing of what it used to be, not letting go
don't think. Really? This out of shape? Need to spend more time outside. Now all of these cameras have been set to auto, like it is straight out of the box. There's no customizations done to anything. All of the 3 cameras has been reset and made sure that everything is put back to the basic settings which you get when you are buying the camera. I'm so exhausted. Anyway, so let's go through the settings which I used for this comparison until now. We're gonna do a lot of more testing. I think we're gonna test the color profiles as well, flat versus flat, and then GoPro versus normal, and so on. But the settings that I have on the GoPro cameras is GoPro color, and it's high bit rate, and it's high sharpening, and we have auto white balance, and then ISO max is 3200 and ISO minimum is 100. That is the same for both of the cameras. Now for the Osmo Action, we have auto on everything, and white balance is also set to auto, and we have the normal color profile which you have seen up until now, and for both of the GoPros we had used the GoPro color. So that's basically the settings which I have been testing so far. Now let's do some more video comparisons, and let's test out some of the slow motion from all of the cameras, and let's see which one is the best suited for you. So now we're going to test out some slow motion shots, and for the settings on this we're going to use 2.7K at 120 FPS, both on the GoPro Hero 8 and the 9. So yeah, GoPro Hero 8 and GoPro Hero 9, 2.7K, 120 FPS. But the Osmo Action doesn't have 120 FPS in 2.7K. So for that we have to shoot in 2.7K at 60 FPS on the DJI Osmo Action. So now we change this back to 5K 30 FPS, and it's the angle of wide. Now what's good about both of the GoPros is that you are able to use Hypersmooth 3.0 on the Hero 9 and Hypersmooth 2.0 on the GoPro Hero 8 when shooting above or up to 240 FPS, whilst on the DJI Osmo Action it stops on 60 FPS. You cannot use rocksteady above 60 FPS. But again, do you really need any additional image stabilization when you are shooting slow motion, when you are shooting 120 FPS or 240 FPS? What the Hypersmooth is doing and so on, everything is cropped in. So if you enable it, you will have some cropped in image, and which will take away some of the additional details and all of that in your video. So when you are filming in 120 FPS or above, I suggest just stick with the normal camera. Just don't apply any stabilization because you will lose some of the framing as well. Now let's move over to all of the cameras here, and we're gonna use the flat color profile. So GoPro flat versus DJI Osmo the Cinelike. So we now changed the settings of all of the three cameras here. We have the GoPro Hero 9 at the flattest profile, which is GoPro flat, and the same with the GoPro Hero 8. And for the DJI Osmo Action, we have the profile, the Cinelike, which is the flattest profile that you can get on that camera. Now, when it comes to the skin tones and colors right out of the box, changing to the flattest profile, for the GoPro cameras here, you can see that there's still a lot of colors in the frame here, and for the DJI Osmo Action, you can see that the profile has gotten a lot flatter, so it's easier, or it feels like it's easier to work with. Well, it is easier to work with when it comes to color grading. Now for the GoPros, there's basically, if you ask me, there's no point going for the flattest profile. The only thing it seems like the flattest profile is doing is just desaturating the colors a tiny bit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the feeling that I have when I'm changing to flat. That's one of the reasons I never use flat profile on the GoPro cameras. Now for the Osmo Action here, I actually use the flat profile quite a lot in addition to an ND filter. The normal colors on the Osmo Action, well, yes, you have better skin tones and so on, but I think for me personal, this is only my personal opinion, I think the normal color spectrum or the normal color profile from the DJI Osmo Action is just it's flat, even though it's normal. It provides really good skin tones, of course, and a lot of you might know that already by checking out this comparison as well. But for me, I would prefer to go with the flat profile, the Cinelike on the Osmo Action, and then rather color grade and bring the colors back myself. Now for the GoPros, I'd rather shoot with the GoPro color profile and then just desaturate or manipulate the colors and change them to more of that teal and orange color if I'm doing a cinematic video, or just to bring down the vibrance and maybe the saturation up a tiny bit, and that goes for the GoPro colors. Now when it comes to the color, the different colors between these two cameras, a lot of you know that I really like both the Osmo Action and the GoPro, but when it comes to colors, I must say my favorite would be the GoPro Hero 9 and 8. I can't see much of a difference between the colors in those two cameras, but for me the GoPro colors are probably the favorite colors of an action camera, which is, yeah, you know, which is either Osmo Action or the GoPro. So for colors, GoPro. Now I still need to get home and check out all of the footage here, but I can honestly say now, after checking out the screen on the front-facing screen on the GoPro Hero 9 and seeing everything, playing it back inside the camera and so on, I think I'm going to favor GoPro 9 over the Osmo Action, like I did with the GoPro Hero 8. I favored that over the Osmo Action. I'm sorry DJI, but you kind of have to. You kind of have to step it up, especially now that we have the Hero 9. Now, I'm still having this on 5K 30 and 4K 30 and 4K 30 on the Hero 8. Now, I think we're gonna do a sort of cinematic test here. So we're gonna go all the way down to 24 FPS again, 4K 24, 4K 24, and 5K 24 on the Hero 9. As you saw in the previous video I uploaded as well, where I did a full in-depth editing inside of LumaFusion we got a lot of, or it was really bad weather. So today is partially cloudy and sunny and all of that, so I think the scenery now is going to be a lot better than the rainy environment and the rainy weather we had last time we did a 5K cinematic video with the GoPro Hero 9. So let's switch all of these back to 4K 24 and 5K 24, and let's do a cinematic short sequence, just a couple of 30 seconds or something, and let's take a look at that once we have finished up the edit of those three videos together. Yeah. Now I have about 3 minutes left of the SD card on the GoPro Hero 9 here, but I wanted to test the horizon leveling as well for vloggers. Now I'm just gonna tilt this up so you can see me on the Osmo Action here as well. And it seems like the wind is picking up a little bit, so sorry about the audio if it's a little bit windy, but here we have the horizon leveling on the GoPro Hero 9. And this is also 5K 24 FPS linear plus horizon leveling. Now let's face the sun here so it's a little bit easier to see for you guys. And what do you think of the horizon leveling? This is something I can see myself using when I'm vlogging and so on. And well, it all depends on kind of your needs. Do you need horizon leveling? The shot which you saw earlier was actually 5K with horizon leveling, and there you could see that the footage was a lot more stable, was cleaner, and
we got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need right here. Make me sing along. Sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. We got everything we need, right? Watch me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here. We got
so now that we done all the testing with the Hero 9 versus the Hero 8 and versus the Osmo Action, I must say that the 5K footage on this with the right settings is insane. It looks so beautiful, and I fell in love with the 5K after making this video. I've gone through all the footage, and I must say I'm completely surprised of the quality coming from this tiny camera. 5K resolution, it's insane in an action camera, and making cinematic videos is now a joy compared to the other two action cameras, the Osmo and the Hero 8. Now the 5K really is sharp. But let's talk about one thing which I found a little bit weird and made me think. Now, for vloggers, you actually might want to go with the GoPro Hero 8 or the Osmo Action. As you could see in the comparison as well, it seems like I had sort of a beauty filter when I was filming with the Hero 9. But on the GoPro Hero 8, my skin tone was a lot better. But of course, like everyone else, the Osmo Action has the best skin tones when it comes to vlogging and framing yourself and just seeing yourself. It has a more natural look to it. But like I also said in the early comparison between these two cameras here, the Hero 8 and the Osmo Action, I favor the Hero 8 over the Osmo Action, and I really like the GoPro colors. But when it comes to these two, the Hero 9 versus the Hero 8, I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna do, or if I were to do daily vlogs and really wanted to have the perfect skin tone for me with either of these two, I still think I would go with the Hero 8. Like I said, it seems like I had some sort of a beauty filter on my face. I'm not sure how this is going to come out on YouTube after the compression and all of that, but it felt like I was more washed out, and even though the settings were exactly the same, the placement of the cameras were exactly the same side by side, so it shouldn't be that big of a difference, especially when there's two of the same cameras. And I don't think they have done anything with the colors from, well, in the Hero 9. I think everything is the same. It's just new features, a bigger sensor for the raw photos. You can take 20 megapixels raw, and no, I must say, color wise, I think the GoPro Hero 8 is number one. But if I'm gonna take everything into consideration, since I'm not doing most of the daily vloggings and all of that, and usually I film with the Sony a7 III here in the studio, with the 5K resolution and horizon leveling, even though I barely used horizon leveling in this video and everything was shot handheld, I still, it's like, overall, if you take everything into consideration, I would go with the Hero 9, simply because it has a front-facing screen, it has 5K, and even though, like I said, I'm not really vlogging that much, and here in the studio I have the monitor here, and I have this U-rig kind of monitor on top of the camera as well. But for cinematic videos and slow motion and doing like stuff where, let's say I want to make a B-roll or a cinematic video and I don't want to bring this entire rig, I know for sure that this is good enough. I can take this and I can make a high quality cinematic video with just my GoPro Hero 9. So that means I don't have to take anything with me, and I can basically do it handheld like this. So this is the only thing that I would need to take with me to make professional looking cinematic videos. So what's your thought? Which one would you select out of these three cameras? Is it the Osmo Action still? Or is it still the Hero 8? Or would you invest in a brand new GoPro Hero 9 with 5K resolution? Let me know in the comment section below which one you liked the most. Now with that said, that's the end of this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that would be really appreciated, and I hope to see you in the next video.